Hello ladies and gentlemen, Santa's Workshop here. I am so glad y'all are joining me for this today because by the time you see this video, I have reached a milestone on YouTube. I am monetized. That's right. I have gotten my 4,000 watch hours thanks to you. Thank you so much. And thank you to Randy at Auto Auction Rebuilds. Matter of fact, we're working on one of his cars today. Now, before any of you ask or start saying, well, Randy should have, looked this car over a little bit more before he bought it, he knew what he was getting into. He had ideas, and I convinced him to let me put a roof on this thing. So, that being said, this is what we are going to attempt. Okay, we are not going to attempt it. We are going to do it. We are starting on this today. We're going to get this thing tore down and see exactly how bad it is all under here. We know what we got here. We know this has to be replaced. We're going to see how bad it is under here. So I'm going to get all this tore down and hopefully get to the root of this, and we can see how bad it is. And then in the next video, we will be doing some cutting and chopping and welding. So let's get on this, get it tore down, and see what we have. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take a quick break here, and I want to show you something that I have discovered on this car. Back in the late 70s, early 80s, when they started introducing the metric system into the bolts and everything on American-made cars, they would paint the bolts that were metric blue so the mechanics would know which were metric, which were standard. I want you to look at the color of the bolts that are coming out of this car. Usually rust has overtaken them. You will never see a strip of blue on them. I mean, look at that one right there. That is just unbelievable. And when I pulled the battery tray out, any mechanic knows what's under a battery tray is usually nothing but rust and destruction. That is not bare metal. That is the original black paint from the underside of the car. That is original black undercoating. This car has got very it had been well taken care of before it got storm damaged. So we're going to bring it back one way or another. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have been out here probably about 4 to 5 hours, And this is how far I have gotten so far. Now you can see our rust comes down to here, but it's not rusted through anywhere around here. I'm gonna have to pull that off to make certain underneath. All that under there looks good. There at the hinge, that's just surface rust. But all across the base of where the windshield goes is perfect. No signs of rust nowhere. That is a very good news. It's a good thing I pulled that dash out, because I guarantee you wouldn't want to turn the vent on high with all that in there. So we're going to get all that cleaned up. Tomorrow we're going to get the interior out of it. Do some cleaning up. I'm going to get the trim off the back glass, get the back glass pulled, get the other glass pulled out the other side. And then I'm going to clean up the joints where this cab comes together. You can see one right here. It's separated just a little bit right there, which, I mean, that's probably just a seam sealer. That's nothing unusual. And right here at the top, this right here is the factory seam. You can see where it was kind of not finished out. That was actually done at the factory. I don't know if that's body filler in there or lead. I will find out tomorrow. But we are getting close to cutting the top off. The blue top has got a little wrinkle. It's got a wrinkle right in here, which I think I can straighten out because it's right there on the seam. So we will get that done. You can see kind of yeah, I think that is actual leading. And you actually see the crack from the seam right there. We'll make a convertible out of this soon. We'll see y'all tomorrow when we get started again. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got the carpet out. I got the vacuum cleaner and cleaned it out. For sitting outside in the rain, it looks really good. I mean, this got some surface rust, which I'll wire wheel it, do a treatment on. But we got a dent in the floorboard over here on this other side. And I will almost bet you that's from the forklift when they picked it up at the auto auction, because it looks rather new. You can see the shiny metal right there. So that's just to knock down and recaulk it so no water gets up in here. Go over all this rust, get that killed out to where it ain't going to come back for a while, if ever. But all in all, it looks pretty darn good in there. Just going to try and get the windows out. I want to go up and see if I can find a tool. If I can't find the tool, I'm going to have to order one. If not, that'll have to go in next week's video. So there you have it for this week's video. We got the car tore down. All in all, looking really good shape. Next time you see this car, we will be starting to cut the roof off. I want to show you how I'm going to take the measurements. Everybody's been saying, you know, I need a weld reinforcement since I'm going to cut the roof. This car is a full framed car. That means the frame supports it, not the body. So that should not be an issue, but just in case, I am taking measurements. I can square it back up if it gets out of line, but I'd like to do as little welding on the body that you have to cut off, grind, and there's another potential rust spot eventually if you don't get it completely treated correct. So that's it for this week's video. If you liked it, hit that like button. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. Let me know why. All I can do is get better. But please subscribe, comment, hit that notification button. We will see you next time on Santa's Workshop.